Welcome to this tutorial about how to use Google Classroom to manage your project qualifications. To begin with, I've navigated to the Google Classroom app and I'm currently in there looking at where I've set up my higher project qualification page. To do this, I click on Classroom and I use the plus symbol up at the top right corner and I choose Create Class. I read and understand the information, I continue, and then I can put the name of my class, which in this case was the higher project qualification. I can choose a section, a subject. I can even allocate a classroom. Once I've done this, it will appear like so. When I click into this space, this is where we're going to be managing all of the communication with our students and our teachers. What we do first is we're going to set up very quickly the HPQ 1 document. This is going to help us to manage the entire process so that each student has a document to work on and each teacher can collaborate with that student throughout the process of completing the course. To begin with, I'm going to navigate to the Pearson qualification website and choose Course Materials and scroll down to where I can see Coursework Support. Here you will find the Foundation qualification and the Higher qualification single document approach and download whichever one you want. Once I have these in my download folder, which you'll see here, I'm going to navigate back to my project qualification here. And what I want to do is I want to create an announcement down here that every student will see, and this will launch their project. To do this, I'm going to go to Google Drive. Here is my Google Drive. And as you can see, because I'm using Classroom linked to this account, it's already created a Classroom folder for me to use. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag that document into this area here to upload it into my Google Drive. Before I do this, I'm going to go to Settings in the top right corner. And I'm going to scroll down to where it says Uploads. And I'm going to make sure that Convert Uploads to Google Docs Editor format is ticked. What that means is that a Word document from the Pearson website, when dragged into Google Drive, will immediately convert into a collaborative Google document that I can share with students, and we can work on that throughout the course. Let's go back to my Google Drive now. I'm going to take that document, I'm going to drag it in. What will happen now is both the file will upload, and because I've got that option clicked, it will convert, as you can see, into this little icon that is a Google document. If you have something with a little W, that means it's still a Word document, and you need to make sure you've gone to those settings. This document is the base document I'm going to use, but I'm going to get each student to make a copy of this as we progress along. Now what I'm going to do is go back to my classroom. I'm going to go to Classwork, and I'm going to create an assignment. In this assignment, I'm going to give it a title. So this is the Higher Project Qualification Template. I'm going to give it instruction. Please can all students click this assignment and create your own version. I have options of how I'm going to attach that document now. I have Drive, YouTube, Create, Upload, or Link. But what I'm going to do, because I've got it in Drive, I'm going to click Drive. It's going to locate it for me because there it is already. I'm going to select it and go Add. This document now has options. Students can either view the file, they can edit the file, or they can make a copy for each student. If I create a document that can view, this could be information I provide for the course. It could have YouTube links and all sorts of bits and bobs in there, but essentially they can only view the document and not work on it. If I create a file, they can edit. All students in the class can edit that one document. So if this is a collaborative exercise where I want lots of feedback, I might create a document where every student can put a comment. What I want to do here is make a copy for each student. And what this will do is every time the student clicks on it, it will create a duplicate and name it appropriately. On the right-hand side, as you can see, I can assign it to all students. I can give it a point system. I'm going to enter 40 because that's how many the HPQ is marked out of. And I have other options like a due date. Let's imagine I'm starting in September. I might put a due date for the first October half term, which for my school will be the 31st. And I can even allocate a specific time, which could be the end of the school day, which is 4 o'clock. These have now been allocated, and this means that at this document date, that is the due date, and I can close submissions afterwards if I want to stop students from submitting the work when it's completed. If I want to put a subtopic in here, this will help me organize down the line, but I don't have to do this right now. And I can also add a rubric for assessment, and I'm not going to look at this today. Now what I'm going to do is click the top right button and choose Assign. Now you can see under classwork, I have my assignment, I've got my due date and the time. And as you can see here, I can either remove it or share links with it. I'm going to go back to Stream now, and as you can see in my stream, the assignment has appeared. This assignment here is ready for every student, and when they click on it, you'll see that students will basically have a document here. They'll be able to click on it, and I can see who's handed it in, how many people have been assigned it, and I can also see my instructions information, which has been created here for me. Students can put comments down here if they want to ask questions, but essentially that assignment has been applied to all students in the class. When I go back to my classroom and I go to people, this is where I can add in more teachers and more students. The best way to get everybody in is really simple. Come back to Stream, share the class code like this in an email, or click display on the whiteboard, and then students can type this in and they'll immediately have access to the whole classroom. I can also share them a link. I have the ability to customize this entire space, which I'm going to do, but I'm up and running now with an assignment for every student that's going to do my HPQ. If I come back to Google Drive now, you'll see that this Google Doc is still here, but in my classroom, I now have a folder for the higher project qualification, and in there, I even have my assignment here, which is my document. And at the moment, there's nothing here because no students have selected to actually click on the assignment. As my students click on the assignment, the documents will appear one at a time with each student's name assigned to this. I'm now up and running. I can go back to my classroom now, I can share this with my students, and I can start to build up this area with resources and support. I hope that was useful.